Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I am going to discuss how to give references. So we will be discussing how to give reference using APA style and Mla style, and also I'll be discuss how to give in-text citation as well. So let's begin with the APA. So begin with its definition. It stands for American Psychological Association. It's a referencing system which uses the author method of citation, in which the author gives authoritative sources for the statements and help the reader gain access to those sources and acknowledge the fact that the information used in a paper did not originate with the writer, and it is also called author date style. And then now, what is MLA? MLA is developed by Modern Language Association, and it consists of two parts: a brief in-text citation in a body of essay and detailed list of the work cited at the end of the work. Mla referencing structure is like this: first you write the author name, then title of the source, then title of the container, and then other contributors, their version number, publisher, publication date, and location. And in APA referencing, we will learn how to give reference from a book, from a magazine, from a web, from a magazine and journal article. So begin with the first one: how to cite a reference from a book using APA style, using 6th edition. So following are the steps for give a reference from a book. The first one is the author. The surname is followed by the initial name and the year of publication in a rounded brackets. Then book title in italics, then edition of the book in round brackets. Then indicate whether you use the online version or the printed version. And finally, the first line of each citation is left adjusted. So this is the structure and example how to give a reference from a book. So this is Fletcher DP 2018 dispute success strategies from a woman who break the world, and dot entrepreneur press. So here it is, the structure is reflected. You see this is the author first name, this is his last name, and this is the year of publication, this is the title of this book, and this is the publisher. Entrepreneur press is the publisher. And reference from a book example are, there are different material: book from a library database with no DOI. And in-text citation example is the experience is the only perceived indicator of capability. So this is a quotation. In-text citation Fletcher, then comma 2018 and 107 is the page number. And reference list examples are, again this is another example. And second material type is the book from a web with no DOI and single author. And in-text citation example is, in the late 1980s, medical authorities and the many individual doctors strongly advocate the HIV test, par 2011 and page 84. This is the in-text citation example from a web, book from a web. Then other reference list examples are there: par J 2011 movement, knowledge, emotion, grey activism and HIV in Australia, ANU press, http://database.org. And second kind of book is book with two authors and edition. And so for this you have to indicate both the authors according to Markan and Tona 2017. Moran A. and Toner J. 2017. A Critical Introduction to Sports Psychology, 3rd edition, Routledge. How to cite a reference from a thesis. So these are the steps, and the first one is the author's last name and first and middle initials, and then year published, title of the thesis, publication or the document number if applicable for the published work, then degree type, bachelor's, master's or doctoral, and the name of the institution awarding degree, and finally DOI or URL. Then citing, and so there are three aspects. The first one is citing an unpublished thesis. Unpublished thesis can usually be sourced in print from a university library. Indicate university name. The structure is like this: author's last name, and then last name and initial name, then year publication, and then title in sentence cases, and then unpublished degree type, and then the name of institution. For example, Arms JH and Doughty LH 1911. The proposed plans for the Iowa State College athletic field, including the design of a reinforced concrete grandstand and wall. Unpublished bachelor thesis, Iowa State University. So this is the publisher. And then in text citation examples are, so in parenthetical you will write in brackets, round brackets, Arms and Doughty, comma 1911, and and in narrative without parentheses, without brackets, Arms and Doughty 1911. And the second one is citing a published thesis from a database. The institution is present in brackets after the title, and the archive or database name is included. The structure is like this: author's last name, and then initial names, years of publication, title in sentence cases, publish or document number, and then degree type and the name of institution and database name. For example, this is NEET K.A 2011, Media Epidemics, Viral Structures in Literature and New Media. Accession number is this 2113 and 95, and doctoral type of thesis is doctoral thesis, University of California, Santa Barbara, and then Paracast dissertation publishing. And then in text citation example is the parenthetical citation, Trotman 2018, and narrative citation, Trotman, and in parentheses in brackets 2018, the date. And then citation from a thesis published online but not from a database. So its structure is like this: author's last name plus initials name, and then year of publication, title in sentence cases, degree type, name of institution, name of archive or collection, and URL. For example, Kim, O 2019, Soviet Tablia, and then cinema and history underlaid, socialism, doctoral dissertation, University of Pittsburgh, and then institutional repository at the University of Pittsburgh, and URL http dot, this is the URL. And then in text citation, parenthetical citation, Kim's 2019, and narrative citation, Kim 2019, and citing from a reference from a website. APA website citation usually include the author's name, the publication date, the title of the page or the article, and the website name and the URL. If you are citing an online version of a of a printed publication, for example a newspaper, magazine, etc., use the same format. For example, this is an example from web slate.b 2019 April 10. Whales likely impacted by the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, the ocean cleanup. So this is title. After that the URL http dot www.theoceancleanup.com. And in text citation example is the in parenthetical citation, use parenthesis and inside parenthesis write slate, 2019. Basic format to reference material from a web. Author or the author's surname is followed by the initial name and year and the title in italics, publisher, date, view and web address. For example, Cancer Council 2017 Cases of Cancer, view 21 May 2018, and the web source is http://www.cancer.org. And citing a reference from a newspaper. From a newspaper, printed newspapers are divided into sections which are identified by a letter before page number. So for example, A1, B4, etc. always include the letters. So the structure or the format is like this: last name, initials name, and then year, month, day, article title, newspaper name and pages. For example, Squads J 1993 September 30, obesity affects economic social status, and the publisher is Washington Post, and the page A1, A4. And then in text citation inside parenthesis sequence, 1993. Citing an online newspaper article includes a URL instead of page number. The format is like this: last name, initial name, year, month, day, and then the article title, newspaper name and URL. And citing reference from a magazine. From a magazine, the structure is like this: author, final name, year, month, day of publication, article title, magazine title, and then volume, issue and the page number. For example, Lucarson, V 2019 January, and then text biggest promises for 2014. This is title and time. This is the magazine, and the pages are 183. Okay. And citing from an online magazine. If you are citing from an online magazine, then the structure is like this: author's final name, year, month of publication, article title, magazine title, volume, issue, and at last URL. And how to cite from a journal article. So for this you have to write the author's last name, first initial, publication year, title of article, journal title, volume and number pages. For example, Sumit S 2001, disadvantages of mobile phone and side effects of technology. So this is from page 126 to 167. So this is about the referencing using API. Hope you understand. Thank you very much.